Right, buddy, we have a huge Manchester United update. Now, in this video, we'll be talking the latest on Joao Gones to Manchester United with a potential January move on the card. We've also got an update on ZIRKZEE and him having no chance of leaving Manchester United this January window, as well as some other interesting stories, which we will talk about as well. But I'll start off by talking about the Joao Gones stuff. Obviously, it was reported a couple of days ago Manchester United were interested in signing him. And again, the stories have developed. Now, Ruben Amorim and the Ineos hierarchy are considering a move for Joao Gomes as early as January. The Brazilian is a player who ticks many of Jason Wilcox's required criteria. Manchester United is interested in Joao Gomes, who could become available on the market if Wolves are relegated from the Premier League. There is a chance that interested clubs may attempt to sign him in the January transfer window if Wolves' relegation is still likely, as the money will obviously be very useful to the club. Wolves had previously valued the midfielder at a figure of 60 million, similar to the transfer fee received for Matheus Cunha. So, listen, Joao Gomes has obviously emerged as kind of a recent target for Manchester United. And he meets the criteria of what Manchester United want, which again is obviously something that we need. I mean, meeting the criteria of Jason Wilcox is something that is very, very key to Manchester United signing players and the whole recruitment team, to be honest. Obviously, he will definitely be agreed with by Ruben Amorim as well. So that is definitely positive in that aspect. But if you certainly look at Joao Gomes as a player, I think he is a very, very good player and he fits the criteria to what you need. I think he's a good player to have, as well as bringing in a Wharton, a Baleba and Anderson. I think we definitely do need two midfielders this summer, especially what happens with Bruno, Mainu, Casemiro as well. So I think two midfielders is definitely the priority. And I think Joao Gomes is definitely a good option. He's a cheaper option, but still a qualified and good enough player for Manchester United. Now, Harry Maguire is keen on extending, but Manchester United is still deliberating the terms, slightly leaning towards a short term or a year plus one. Their club's final offer will depend on the projected status in the 26-27 campaign, specifically considering factors like the Champions League, considering factors like fixture volume, revenue / income generated to current Champions League football, and whether they plan to sign a new defender. So on Maguire, we know there is a chance that he does stay, and that's all kind of we know at the moment. Now, Manchester United have strategically positioned themselves as the preferred destination for Baleba and hold a significant advantage because the midfielder is keen on the move. Baleba is in a similar mindset to the players like Cunha and Mbeumo, having his heart set on the move to Manchester, Old Trafford, rather than insisting on immediate club Champions League football at Delap, for example. United are not concerned about Baleba's current dip in form compared to last season. Again, as I talked about in, I think it was a couple of days ago now, Manchester United have all the groundwork done for that Baleba deal. So it wouldn't kind of be the hardest deal to do and could be the one which Manchester United go for. Now, Mainu is not interested in leaving United. However, he's keen on a loan with Napoli, Bayern Munich, and a host of Premier League clubs eyeing his signature. Now, I did see Zambo Anguissa has been injured for Napoli, so could he potentially be on the radar to Napoli? I think it'd be a good move for him. He'll have McTominay. I think Lukaku's still there. I know they have Højlund as well. De Bruyne, I believe, is injured as well. So they do need players, and I think he is definitely a decent option to have. Now, United have been linked to Karim Adeyemi. Manchester United have inquired about Karim Adeyemi and obtained information from George Mendes. Borussia Dortmund are still pushing to extend Adeyemi's contract, but no agreement has been reached so far. It remains unclear whether Dortmund will actually include a release clause in the new deal. However, Adeyemi and Mendes want to have one included. So I think on Adeyemi, I mean, it was a story that I did see. I just don't see anything materialising. I think Adeyemi, no doubt, is a good player. I think if you look at what he's done for Dortmund, he's a wicked talent. But again, I just don't think Manchester United should be in the market for a forward at this moment. I think you've got ZIRKZEE, you've got Mbeumo, you've got Cunha, you've got Sesko, you've got Ahmad, Bruno, Mount can play there, Mainu. There are options there. Yes, I think, I'll talk about Semenyo talks as well. Yes, I think Adeyemi would be a good option, but I just don't think it's a sort of priority and profile that we need at this current moment. Now, Semenyo, again, he's been linked with the move to United. Could something happen there? We'll have to wait and see. We know Liverpool have a strong interest as well. So we'll have to wait and see what develops there. Now, on ZIRKZEE, Joshua ZIRKZEE has been told there's no chance of a mid-season departure from Manchester United. So, listen, I think on ZIRKZEE, we know he's ambitious. He wants to leave. I think no chance of him leaving. Again, I think it's still kind of too early to say, depending on whether a club comes in for him, whether what happens with Sesko, we'll have to wait and see what does develop with Joshua ZIRKZEE. But it's certainly something to keep an eye out on. And I think ZIRKZEE, as we know and as we've seen, has remained as a perfect professional. So I think we'll have to just wait and see on that. I think telling a player that you can't leave, you kind of get from the selfish aspect of the club. They need a player. So that's probably why they don't want him to go. But again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Andre Onana will return to United in the summer as there's no buy option. United are happy with Le Mans, and I understand that Onana will not be part of the future and they will likely try and sell him. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. United obviously happy with Le Mans. He's a goalkeeper that we bought in to be at the club for the next 5-10 years, and he's someone who United want to continue their project with. There's no reason for him to kind of leave, or there's no reason for Onana to come back and play. Le Mans just started very, very well. And again, Onana, he'd be someone who we won't get profit for, I don't think, but it's certainly something that we can definitely get a bit of return.